eyelashes crusted with frost, a wolf frozen mid-stride, and a cold so severe it can cost you your limbs.
Is it frostbite?
My whole body feels like it's being pricked by needles. You're seeing a frozen wolf. This is Oymyakon, the coldest inhabited place on Earth, where the thermometer drops to negative 71.2 degrees Celsius in winter. Even just 10 minutes of inactivity here can be life-threatening.
You got a hair.
It froze to death because it was caught in the trap and immobilized. Here, immobility brings the end. The temperature difference between the house and outside is almost 100 degrees. Despite the extreme cold, around 800 people live in Oymyakon, some in warm, insulated homes, while others make a living by ice fishing or hunting in the taiga forests. Cold not only affects people and animals, it also stops most electronics from working, and cars left outside with the engine off can freeze and become unusable in just 45 minutes. In the early hours of the morning, Ruhi and I boarded the plane to Moscow, and after a 6-hour journey, we're here in Yakutsk, the capital of Yakutia. As soon as we got off the plane, I realized the coldness of the air, with the dry air coming down from my throat into my lungs, and with a cough that wouldn't go away. Our guide told us that the clothes we brought with us were enough for Yakutsk, where we are now, but not enough for the freezing cold in Oymyakon. The local authorities provided us with trousers made of reindeer fur, boots, gloves, and finally a beret. Ruhi and I have been friends for 15 years. As I have been witnessing his documentary journey, a deep curiosity has begun to take root inside me. I felt that one day I would be a part of those journeys. But I did not expect that we would start in the most difficult one, Oymyakon. To reach the coldest village in the world, we will make a challenging car journey that will take 20 hours. The worst scenario that can happen to us on this kilometers-long road is that a car breaks down or we have an accident. Because it is negative 50 degrees outside, even in a small accident, we can freeze to death until the helpers arrive. As you can see, the truck had an accident. It probably rolled into the riverbed. They have to wait for the summer to tow it because it is very difficult to bring a tow truck here in winter conditions. We complete our 20-hour planned journey in 23 hours and arrive in Oymyakon. Thermometers show negative 60.5 degrees. As soon as I get out of the car, I feel the cold in my bones. And now, it's time to change the clothes we brought with us and put on our furs. In Oymyakon, it takes about 20 minutes to get dressed and go out. The total weight of the clothes I wear is 15 kilograms. Although it may appear disadvantageous, it causes us to spend more calories to move. And the extra calorie burn comes back to us as body heat. The fur creates a barrier that prevents body heat from escaping. The hollow structure of each hair traps air, providing an excellent insulation. Especially shoes and gloves crafted from reindeer fur provide extra protection against frostbite. My eyelashes are freezing, even though I've only been outside for 15 minutes. I almost can't feel the tip of my nose. Even with these conditions, if we don't keep moving, frostbite can take hold of our extremities. And if it worsens, our body may lose the fight against the cold. Oymyakon is a small village in the Republic of Yakutia in Siberia. This place, which has about 225 households, is the coldest place in the world where humans can live. It is freezing cold for 9 months of the year here. Since it is located in a valley surrounded by mountains, the wind rarely blows, which allows the cold to hang in the air. This is the reason for the freezing temperatures. Due to extreme cold temperatures, the stove is not enough to heat the houses. For this reason, there is a central heating station in the village. Here, coal is continuously burned in large boilers, and the heat is distributed to all households through insulated pipes running above. This is the most critical structure that keeps life going in Oymyakon. To withstand the harsh winter, when temperatures drop to negative 72 degrees Celsius, buildings in Oymyakon must be built like fortresses to retain heat. The first step is to move the buildings away from the cold ground. This is both to protect the building from the cold outside and to protect the heat radiating from inside from melting the ground and destabilizing the house. Also, each wall consists of 7 different layers. The outermost layer is a wooden cladding. Just below it is basalt as the main insulation material. On the inside, there is gypsum plaster, wire mesh, foam insulation, and another layer of plaster, and a decorative wooden panel on the inside. The windows here are triple glazed, making them an effective shield against the freezing cold. The attic is insulated with sawdust and earth. We brought all the 3D animations in this video to life using the NSI Vector 16HX AI and NVIDIA RTX 5080 graphics card. More details to come. To better understand and experience the harsh conditions here, we're being guests to a local family. Today, the sun rises at 9:47 in Oymyakon. Family wakes up at the first light of day. Ulyana first goes to wash her face. Because water is so precious here, they use a very interesting tap system. Simply pushing the tip of the tap slightly upward is enough. This way, only the necessary amount of water flows, helping to prevent waste. Ulyana gets the milk ready before waking the kids for breakfast. Now it's time for them to wake up. First, the kids brush their teeth and wash their faces. Now they are ready for breakfast.
How is the situation outside?
Looking good.
For breakfast, they often choose high-calorie foods, such as fatty pancakes and jam, mainly to provide the energy they need for the day.
Don't be sad, just eat.
Your breakfast is over, isn't it?
Let's go to kindergarten now, okay?
After breakfast, the children get ready for school. They put on wool pants over a dress, a jacket over that, thick snow pants, thick socks, boots, scarf, beanie, and gloves. This little girl is ready to go to school. We will accompany her on her journey to school.
Primary school students do not go to school at minus 52 degrees. And high school students do not go to school at minus 55 degrees here.
The children here are sometimes accompanied by their fathers on the journey to school, as the freezing cold can make the roads dangerous. Now we've arrived at school. Now we're going to school with the children. First we will drop the little boy to kindergarten, then we will drop the others to primary school.
It is not difficult to walk like this. We are already used to the cold, so we walk like this every day without any difficulty. It is like morning sports. We all go together happily. In the evening, we return the same way. Enjoy your class.
The little girl of the house takes off her layers of clothes and enters the classroom in her dress.
Look, children, this is the Sasha, a bird that lives here in the winter. Isn't it beautiful?
After dropping the children off at school, the father and I go back home. What was the coldest temperature you've ever experienced? And how did they make you feel?
When I first came to Oymyakon, on the coldest days it was minus 68 degrees. At that time I witnessed the real cold. For someone who has never experienced this cold, it's even hard to breathe.
Back home, Boris starts his daily routine by cleaning the snow from the doorstep. Next, they take clean ice to use for their daily water needs and leave it in a barrel to melt. While Boris feeds the dog in the yard, the mother of the house continues with the housework. Ulyana starts washing the dishes with hot water that comes from the central heating system, taken directly from the radiator. The washed dishes are dried and put away. Since Oymyakon has no sewage system, Ulyana drains the dirty water into a bucket under the sink. After finishing her chores, she starts getting ready for work. She puts on layers of clothes and gets ready to leave the house. I'll accompany her also. So what kind of work is being done in Oymyakon in this cold weather?
For example, I am the director of the local community center. We have a power plant and a thermal power plant. There are also many teachers and educators.
Ulyana and Boris work until noon and then head home for lunch. By the time Ulyana arrives home, the elementary school children are home for lunch. Boris prepares a traditional dish for his family, blood sausage. He places the chopped sausages in a pot, adds a little butter, and cooks them. The traditional tripe soup is also a part of his lunch. In Yakut cuisine, offal, such as tripe, is highly preferred because they believe that no part of the meat should be wasted. They're also a good choice because they are fattier and higher in calories. After lunch, the sun slowly sinks toward the horizon as everyone returns to their daily chores. As darkness falls, the family reunites and dinner preparations begin at home. Boris carefully peels and cuts the frozen and salted fish into thin pieces, while I play with the children. This dish, called stroganina, is an important part of Yakut traditional cuisine. I'm gonna dip the frozen fish in salt and try it now before we eat. It tastes like sushi. Consumed with salt, the taste of this raw meat is quite mild. Olyana treats us to traditional Yakut ice cream, while the father cooks a meat dish with potatoes. It's like a frozen cream.
Cream.
It has such a light fruit flavor. This ice cream is usually made with cream from raw horse milk, fresh strawberries, or berries such as blueberries and sugar. Olyana is preparing the high-calorie pancakes, eaten throughout the day, for tonight and the following day. While dinner is cooking, Boris serves us frozen liver meat. Honestly, I want to have a taste of it. They're eating liver. Just like fish, this is a food consumed with salt. The house turns into a playground for children who can't play outside because of the freezing cold. As soon as dinner is over, we play more games together.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Meanwhile, after dinner, Olyana tidies up around the house. She places the pan she used to fry the pancakes in an uninsulated part of the house and returns. After exhausting and fun games, it's time for the children to sleep.
I'm swinging up.
Change your clothes.
Olyana puts the children to bed one by one, then heads off to bed herself with Boris. Tomorrow morning, they'll continue their lives following the same routine. Today, we head off towards the village center to meet the protector of the cold.
I am Chishan, the guardian of the cold.
According to an old belief in Oymyakon, the protector of the cold is a giant bull that stands in the sky.
This is the bull who protects the cold.
When it lowers its head, snowstorms begin. When it raises its head, the sky clears. The people here call this being the protector of the cold. In Oymyakon, accessing water isn't as simple as turning on a tap like in modern life. The permafrost, frozen ground that lasts all year round, makes it impossible to install or properly maintain water pipes. Residents have to carry blocks of ice cut from the river to their homes for drinking, bathing, cleaning, and brushing their teeth. We come to a frozen river to meet these needs. After removing the snow layer, we carve the thick ice with a chisel. Then we stand on it and crush the ice mass with our weight. When we manage to remove the 30-kilogram blocks of ice, Ruhi and I collect the broken pieces and load them into the sled one by one. The work is harder than it looks, but it's the only way to get the water here.
In the cold, it is necessary to work quickly. Otherwise, you will freeze.
This is a part of their daily life, but for us, it's an experience we're not accustomed to.
Nikolai, how long these are gonna last?
I have a big family, so these will be enough for 2 weeks.
The sled is as full of ice as it can carry. Now, we're on our way back. The ice collected from the frozen river is quite clean. Still, most of the time, the outer layer of ice is scraped off because it can get dirty when jumping on it, touching it, or carrying it. When families need water, they take a block of ice from the garden and bring it home. This block is slowly melted in a large barrel and turned into drinking water. Despite the difficulties, the locals manage to access clean water this way. In Oymyakon, winter lasts almost the entire year. The ice thaws, and summer is felt for only about 3 months. Here, winter lasts for about 8 months, and there's 1 month of spring, 1 month of autumn, and 2 months of summer. That means children have only about 3 or 4 months to play outside. For 8 months, the park is unusable. Permafrost is a thick underground layer where the ground remains frozen all year round. In Oymyakon, only a thin layer of about 30 centimeters near the surface thaws in summer. Underneath it is always covered with ice. This is why the soil is not fertile, because plants and animals cannot decompose and enrich the soil. Agriculture is therefore impossible, and livestock farming is the main source of livelihood. Local people raise Yakut horses and Yakut cattle. We go to a farmer to witness this up close. Every day, Yevdokia lets the animals go free, and they find their own way to the river to drink water. We follow the cows and start walking towards the riverside. As the snow crunches beneath our feet, the cows lead us toward the river. We continue to follow the cows. They're heading toward the river, and we will see them drinking water. After quenching their thirst, the cows return to their warm stables before us. On our way back, we notice Ruhi's nose starting to freeze from the cold and change in color. The tip had turned red, and its color was rapidly turning white. The moment it turns white, it means the third stage of frostbite has begun. At that point, the tissue slowly starts to die.
Is it frostbite?
We need to close it like this. Let's walk while it's closed. Here is the cure. This is aloe and just alcohol. You soak it like this and apply it to the area that's frozen. Hold it right on your nose and don't move it. Yes, that's where you have to hold it.
She says that this cream is a temporary solution and that we need to go somewhere warm immediately. We run back to the farm and enter the warm barn. Yevdokia starts preparing the cow for milking. First, she calms the animal and then carefully ties a cloth around it. This cloth relaxes the cow and helps the milk flow more easily. It also ensures that the cow's udder does not freeze from the cold. Inside the barn, the heavy scent of manure, fresh milk, and animals filled the air. The smell clung to us so deeply that every time I put on my coat, I felt as if I were still inside the barn. Yakut cows produce little milk, but their milk is very rich in nutrients, containing almost twice as much fat as other breeds. That's why Yevdokia doesn't slaughter them. Instead, she crossbreeds them with Simmental cows, which give plenty of milk. This way, they preserve the creamy, high-fat milk while still obtaining enough to meet their needs.
That is the male one. All these cows are pregnant from him.
The cow you're looking at is pregnant, and her milk is not suitable for human consumption because it contains high levels of estrogen. However, some animals, such as pigs, can easily digest this milk and are not affected by its high hormone content. Another source of livelihood in Oymyakon is animal husbandry, is Yakut horse breeding. We came to Mikhail to see the Yakut horses up close and experience the environment they live in.
Mikhail, Ruhi, Turgut.
These horses are one of the most resilient horse breeds in the world, surviving temperatures as close as -60 degrees Celsius without shelter. Thanks to their thick fur and strong build, they can find grass under the snow and live outside for days. These horses, which have been living with the Yakut people for centuries, play an important role both in transportation and in meat and milk production. Mikhail is a man who has spent 20 years in the open wilderness looking after Yakut horses.
I'm 63 years old. I'm a horse breeder. It is cold outside. I warm up when I work, when I clean, when I eat.
It's hot today.
What is the temperature of today?
They say -39 degrees for this morning.
Probably around -47, -48 degrees.
So here is -48 and he says this is warm.
Yeah, for him, it's warm.
After years of living in this cold climate, Mikhail developed an interesting way to measure the temperature of the air.
When a person spits, if it is -40 or lower, his spit freezes before it goes down his neck. Locals who were born here withstand this temperature even better. They can walk outside all day and not freeze.
During the interview, my legs, affected by the freezing cold, began to tremble visibly. Mikhail noticed it immediately.
Come
Mikhail noticed from my movements that I was getting cold. He immediately paused the interview and urged me to keep moving to prevent my feet from freezing and avoid frostbite. If we don't want to get frostbite, despite the thick clothes we are wearing, we need to keep ourselves active all the time. This geography does not allow for inactivity.
Mikhail, can we close the horse?
Slowly.
Slowly, okay.
The first thing I notice when I look at the horses is that their hooves are longer than we are used to. Maybe they need that extra height to stay just above the snow and protect their feet. I approached the Yakut horses with a handful of hay to feed them. He was very timid and did not eat the hay I handed him. Even though they are domesticated, they are wild animals, and they run away when we approach them. According to some sources, these horses' population is growing by up to 75% a year. These special Yakut horses are either sold for meat or sent to live in different regions. This is horse meat packaged to order. It will be delivered to a customer today. This is horse meat. As you can see, there's a fatty part. I believe there are leaner cuts as well. Now we're going to try them. We will try the raw horse meat in the tent as it is risky to stay outside too long. People here eat raw and fatty horse meat to stay warm.
This is the liver. This meat is pure and natural, coming straight from the animal itself. When the weather is cold, you come inside and eat it. It helps you recover faster if you're freezing. Eating cold foods also boosts circulation.
Honestly, I like this one better. I couldn't taste it, but it doesn't taste unpleasant in a way that I can't explain, so it doesn't feel like I'm eating raw meat.
Since there are no fruits and vegetables here, we take our vitamins from this.
We have arrived at the cabin of Ivan, a traditional hunter who will soon show us how to fish and catch animals.
I am a man of the forest, and this is my hunting ground. I am here both summer and winter to hunt, fish, and pick berries.
Let's go. To stay warm, Ivan lays a waterproof tarp over his tent. This layer makes his shelter more resistant to the bitter cold.
This is my winter home. If I want it to be warmer, I can cover it with grass. Even as it is, it heats up quickly and stays warm enough during winter. In the summer, it doesn't let the rain through. It's a nice house. It's my home after all.
Today, Ivan will show us how he fishes through the ice on a frozen river. He sets out to check the net he placed in the river the day before. Ivan's net stretches for about 20 meters under the frozen river. With a small shovel, he carefully removes the frozen ice covering the hole. We move on to the second hole. While digging it, water splashes onto the camera lens and instantly freezes, forcing us to change the lens.
Some water splashed on the lens. Oh my god, it's already frozen.
He opened two holes. Ne oldu bu kameraya?
Tamam. Kayıttayım.
This moment reveals just how harsh and unforgiving this landscape truly is. Then we go back to the first hole and start slowly pulling the net up from under the water. After hours of effort, we managed to catch only one fish.
This type of fish is only found here.
The moment the fish came out, of course it started freezing because the water is much warmer than the outside air. Unfortunately, we only caught one fish today. Now we will try to catch other animals. It seems that today is not Ivan's luckiest day.
We were unlucky today. Now let's go into the forest and set a trap there.
He says we have to prepare a rabbit trap for tonight, but before that, we'll rest a bit and eat the fish we caught. Ivan starts preparing the frozen fish. First, he warms it slightly by rubbing it with his hands to make it easier to peel off the skin. He peels off the skin, then carefully slices the fish thinly with a sharp knife. Before taking the first bite, he takes a piece of the fish and puts it into the fire to please the spirit of the hunt. According to this belief, if he doesn't do this, he might return empty-handed on his next hunt. Ivan will now give me the fish we caught today. They eat it raw. They salted it. I want to taste it. I liked it in a strange way. It was delicious with salt. After replenishing our energy and warming up a bit, we head deeper into the forest.
So this is a trap. He's going to set up a trap and we are hoping to catch a hare.
Ivan carefully sets the trap he prepared along a trail marked by animal footprints. Ivan carefully covers the trap with snow so that it blends in completely with the environment. We set the trap and wait for the next day. He set the trap where the animal's footprints are, where they pass the same place every day. If he's not careful, the animal might notice and change its path. Our second day in the forest. Going out into the wilderness in Oymyakon is always a serious risk, as it might not be possible to return back, just like what happened to Ivan's father.
He was someone who had been living here. Somehow he began to freeze one day. Realizing there was no warm shelter nearby and no chance of rescue, he decided to take his own life, to avoid a slow and painful end.
As we move through the snow, we reach the traps Ivan set yesterday. There it is. A white-furred rabbit is lying motionless in the snow.
You got a hare.
A rabbit was caught in the trap Ivan set earlier. It's a beautiful white color. Obviously, it evolved to be white in order to hunt more easily and to be protected from bigger predators because it is much less visible on the snow. I don't think it lost its life because of the damage the trap did to its body. It froze to death because it was caught in the trap and immobilized. Here, immobility brings the end. The river was not generous yesterday, but the forest was kind to us today. Perhaps because the piece of fish we threw into the fire pleased the spirits. Tonight, there's meat on the fire. Oymyakon's freezing climate makes plumbing impossible. That's why there are neither showers nor toilets inside the houses. The locals use the traditional bath, a bath they built in their yards to get clean.
Nos bañamos una vez por semana, el sábado o el domingo. Por la mañana calentamos la sauna y por la tarde empezamos a lavarnos. Todo el proceso dura unas 4 o 5 horas.
Here, taking a shower doesn't start with turning on a tap. It starts with chopping wood. The outdoor bathhouse is heated by a wood-burning stove. The first step is carrying in an armful of firewood and placing it into the stove's chamber. To get the fire going easily, Albert splits the log into smaller pieces. He takes a big chunk of the ice outside and carries it inside. He breaks the ice into small pieces to melt it faster.
I'll add wood 2 more times to keep the heat going. Then we'll wait for it to warm up.
Now it's time to wash. But first, you have to heat the frozen shampoo near the stove to turn it back to its liquid form.
In Oymyakon, people usually bathe 1 or 2 times a week.
After the bath, they have to get dressed quickly because they will soon go from positive 60 degrees Celsius to minus 50 degrees Celsius. It's like stepping out of an oven and entering a deep freeze, a 110-degree temperature gap. Of course, these challenges affect not only the human body, but also the machines. On this harsh winter day, with temperatures as low as negative 56 degrees Celsius, 2 locals have to defrost their vehicles, which have been frozen for months. Their only goal is to reach the market outside the village before it.
How are you planning to unfreeze your car?
Here we will try to defrost the ice with the help of a jet heater. Since we have a diesel vehicle, it'll be more difficult. If the tire is deflated, it adds another problem.
The tire is deflated, not because of an air leak, but because the cold causes the air molecules inside to contract.
The wheel is like a stone, because it was minus 56 degrees outside. Now we will jack the car down. And then we will try to warm the car with the help of a jet heater and tarps.
They fill it with fuel and start it up, even covering the heater itself to prevent heat loss.
It's very cold outside, so everything has to be kept warm.
The process is costly because the heater consumes about 2 liters of fuel every hour. The battery is inserted. Then the oil is checked with a dipstick. The vehicle is now ready for the challenging journey.
Yeah!
Transportation here isn't limited to cars. Reindeer are powerful work animals that pull sleds and are an essential part of life, not only as helpers, but also as a vital food source thanks to their high fat content. This animal, which has been domesticated for centuries, is one of the greatest allies of the locals in fighting the harsh cold. They were also used as riding animals in areas where cars cannot reach. While experiencing the reindeer sled, I unfortunately fell, but luckily I wasn't injured.
You good? I'm good.
Special thanks once again to MSI for bringing the Oymyakon documentary's editing and animations to life. We processed over 50 hours of raw footage and complex animation files with remarkable efficiency. The NVIDIA RTX 5080 graphics card and Intel Ultra 9 275HX hardware saved us a tremendous amount of time on such a large project. In other words, the MSI Vector 16HX AI isn't just a gaming machine, it's a powerhouse you can rely on for your professional work as well. Vector is equipped with Intel's latest generation Ultra 9 275HX processor. This 24-core CPU can reach speeds up to 5.4 GHz. It handles demanding tasks in Blender and Adobe Premiere with ease, while the RTX 5 series graphics cards assist in visual noise reduction and enable us to complete the most challenging 3D renders swiftly. NVIDIA's newest GeForce RTX 5080 graphics card features 16 GB of DDR7 memory and supports technologies like DLSS 4, Reflex 2.0, multi-frame generation, and RTX ray tracing. These features allow you to play the latest games and handle the toughest animation and editing tasks smoothly at the highest settings. In addition, the 16-inch QHD Plus display combines with a 240Hz refresh rate to create smooth and sharp visuals. This is very important for teams working extensively with visuals like ours. With the latest connectivity technologies, such as Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 5.4, you can enjoy fast and uninterrupted connections at all times. You can check out out the links below to explore the new MSI laptops featuring the RTX 50 series. Before leaving Oymyakon, there was one last experience I wanted to try. Entering the river that gives Oymyakon its name, while the temperature outside was negative 56 degrees.
To be honest, I didn't want Turgut to do this. It's extremely dangerous. It has been only 40 seconds since he got out of the car, and his eyebrows have already started to freeze.
The real problem is not getting to that water, but walking from there to here. First, Ruhi steps into the frozen river.
I feel good.
Now, it's my turn. Before stepping into the water, I convinced myself so strongly not to feel the cold that my only focus was to face the challenge and keep my mental strength intact. My brain is telling me that I should run away right now, but I have to do it. When I got into the river, my body released so much dopamine to survive that it made me scream.
No, not enough. Let's go. Enough.
The moment I stepped out of the water, reality hit me again. Until my body warmed up, I felt an intense stinging all over, as if hundreds of needles were piercing me every second. My whole body feels like it's being pricked by needles, but at the same time, it also feels good. It's a strange feeling. I've been stressing myself all morning thinking about this moment. But now I feel really good. I can probably run a good distance if I want to. When I tried to bring the shorts to the car, they froze. That's how you can understand how cold it is outside.
Don't break it, please.
Okay.
Thank you for watching our documentary. Stay tuned for the next. I am unable to talk.
You are really tongue-tied, by the way.
Dude, something's wrong with my lip. I can't feel it at all.
Let's go then.
I will say, I'm not backing down. Thank you for watching our documentary.
You're starting to lisp now.
Whatever, you guys already watched the documentary. I'd like to thank Ruhi, who made this unforgettable experience possible and supported me throughout this documentary journey. I'm also deeply grateful to the Chenet Media team for their unwavering support in helping immortalize these moments on film.